Welcome to Business Time, the main stage for your business.
Hello and welcome to a new episode on our podcast. And today, if you want to make your own business, scale your business, or just get some inspiration from a very, very interesting young man, this is the episode for you. I want to present Assad Toucan. Hey, Assad.
Hey, Elias. How's everything? Thank you for having me here.
Great. Thank you so much for coming. You know,
Of course.
we spoke a lot, and actually, my first introduction to you was, I like by email. You sent me an email with amazing information and knowledge, and then I said, wow, what an amazing man. I just pick up the phone call, and then you told me you're just 17. You know, all of your accomplishments, we're just going to talk about them, you know, being a boxer, being a lecturer, speaker, amazing things you've done. And only 17, you know, I'm thinking of myself at 17. It wasn't close to what you achieved. So good luck, congratulations on that.
Thank you so much.
So before we just begin and dive, can you just tell us a little bit about your personal story, or even got to all the amazing things you've done and doing?
Okay. So first, when I did reach out to you, I was a bit worried because obviously I'm 17. So I was like, oh, am I going to take this guy seriously, whatever. But yeah, so I study business and finance, Masters of Arts, second year. I'm an entrepreneur, co-founded and founded several businesses, and kickboxer/boxer.
Amazing. So let's start from top to bottom, you might say. Let's start maybe with your sports career, because I feel that, it's a very, very nice thing. And, you know, I myself have always seen boxers, and I was sad. No, like I wouldn't get punched in the face, you know, like seeing that. And so tell me how you even got to boxing. How was the story?
Do you want to know the real story or the story I like to tell people?
We only speak the truth in this podcast.
So the truth is, what's it called? I used to watch Ninja Turtles a lot as a kid. And so I always wanted I always wanted to be like them. So in class, I told everyone that I'm a boxing champion. This was around like grade 4, grade 3 when I was really young. So I told everyone I'm a boxing champion. So they asked me to show me videos, and I had nothing. I had never done boxing in my life. So I was like, okay, now I have to start. I told my mom registered me in some boxing classes, and then I started.
Amazing. So and since then to now, you became a champion. You're doing it for you're part of a national team. So tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so my first championship was 2018, I think. I'd been doing boxing for a bit, and then my coach said, oh, you have a fight. I'm like, when? He's like, this Saturday. It was a couple days before. I show up to the fight. I think it's going to be some small club event. It turns out that it's a UAE championship. First fight, championship. I was like, okay, nice. I expected to be destroyed, and then won the first 2 fights. That gave me some traction. After that, a year or two later, I did UAE championship again. I didn't know what my level was like because I trained with adults, you know. It was 3 fights, 3 days, and I got 3 knockouts. That was good. Then, ever since then, I've been gaining traction. I fought for the Jordanian national team, got medals in the Asian championships, world championships. And it just goes on. Fought in Thailand, so there's a lot.
So I shouldn't mess up with you.
No, it's not like that.
All right, I know that, and I understood you also doing a boxing promotion, right? You have this boxing promotion thing you're running.
Yeah. So after I fought in Thailand World Championship, I broke my nose, and so I had to stop for a year. So I was looking more at the business side of it. People told me, why don't you start a business? So I was thinking, okay, what do I have? I have boxing, and I know a lot of people my age. So I started something called DXB Knockout. It's an amateur boxing promotion. And it started off as a joke, you know, I was just getting a few of my friends to fight. But then with the right branding and the right marketing, it blew up from the first event. It was known like across the youth in Dubai by everyone. Everyone showed up, and ever since then, we've been doing events.
Amazing. So if you were looking for something interesting to do, we need to look for DXB Knockout.
Yeah,
this is
of
the
course.
place.
Yeah,
amazing.
It's an amazing event.
And you know, that's one of your businesses you've just created. And do you have some of them? So just tell us what businesses are you involved in?
Okay, so as of right now, it's DXB Knockout, Ahlam Cinemagix, which is a branding agency. Because I started DXB Knockout, and I was like, okay, my marketing and my branding skills aren't that bad. So I started a branding agency because the way I marketed was a bit different. It was more through networking and social media rather than like the normal traditional way. So that was amazing. I saw that I had like a talent for that. So I kept going with it, started a branding agency with a partner. That's one. And then I also okay, another one is AI. So I'm doing an AI specially for finance and special for wealth. And then starting a Umrah agency, a watch line, a perfume line. There might be a few that I forgot, and stocks, so investment.
Amazing. And all of
Yeah.
that at age 17, I'll say it
Yeah.
again, like this is all things for a lifetime for
Yeah.
somebody. And so let's break it down. Let's talk a little bit about the Wealth AI. What does it mean? Who can it help to?
Okay, so I knew nothing about AI. I found out about ChatGPT. I was like, oh, this is an amazing way to cheat on my homework, for it to do my essays and to do all my schoolwork. And then I started asking more questions, and I saw that it was a lot deeper than that. It doesn't just write essays. It can do marketing strategies and give you ideas. It can enhance everything. So I was like, people need to know about this. So this is still in the works because making an application takes time. But it's an application regarding to everything to do with business, whether that's investing in stocks, crypto, real estate, starting businesses, scaling businesses, marketing, copywriting. It does everything. And the thing that would make it stand out is I would just keep it's from information from experts in the field. So it's AI, but with a human touch to it.
Amazing. So you're basically making it more accessible for people to get
Yeah.
AI, because I feel AI, and we spoke a little bit about it, that AI is amazing only if you know how to work with it and feed it with the right information.
Exactly.
So what is your tips, for any individual listening to us right now want to get better with AI?
Just experiment with it. Like, it can do anything. If you need, just be specific with your questions. It could give you literally anything. Just have fun with it, and you'll discover a lot of new things.
What is the most amazing thing you found out you can do with AI?
I used to think that the marketing strategies on there were very like robotic and basic, and obviously marketing needs a human touch to it. Like you need to use emotions, you need to use this, you need to use that. But surprisingly enough, like we've come to a stage where AI can actually do that, and so it does come up with ideas that I can't even come up with. So it does have a creative side to it.
Give us an example of one of the ideas you got with AI.
Okay, so my watch line. I've started my watch line. Finding a watch name I personally found difficult, because I don't have some fancy Italian last name. Rolex was a coincidence. Like, Rolex doesn't mean anything in any language. So I got it to make the name, which is Velexio. And then it helped me a lot with, like improving the product, enhancing the product, because I wasn't too much of a watch guy. I didn't know too much about it. And then I literally just asked AI, help me with this. And it did.
Amazing. And let's talk a little bit about branding as well, because you do have a branding strategy. So you mentioned a little bit how it begins. So tell me what kind of organizations and brands you are helping in your agency? So
I started off as a model. That's how I got into marketing, media, branding, all of that stuff. So I worked with the brands like 6th Street, Zara, Skechers, Yas Waterworld, everything GCC based, because that's where I want to build my network. And then where I actually got my experience was I started off with, have you heard of NBC Action?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they had an episode for me being a boxer or whatever. And after that, I asked them, can I have an internship? They're like, you're the model of this. You're like the actor, not actor, but the person on the screen. Why do you want to work behind the scenes? I was like, I want to get to know the people. I want to know how it works. Like I was really interested in it. So at first they said no, but I kept trying and trying and trying. I would make phone calls. I would keep emailing them. And they were like, oh, this, because at the time I was 15, they were like, oh, this 15-year-old is actually serious about it. So they hired me for an internship. And that's where I got to know like their strategies and their methods.
Amazing. So, and when now you're working with companies and people to create their personal brand or their brand by no means, what do you feel the best tip or the best advice you can give someone to create his brand?
Find your unique selling point. As of right now, people starting businesses are everywhere. Everyone's starting businesses. Everyone's doing startups. Everyone's trying to get financial freedom because it's becoming more of like a social media trend. So find something unique. If most brands, for example, I'll go back to my watch line. Brands like Rolex, Patek Philippe, AP, They were all established in the 1800s. So breaking into that market is really, really difficult. You have to differentiate yourself. You have to find a unique selling point.
So what's your watch brand
So
selling
yeah,
point?
for me, the way I'm gonna market it is something that I feel like gives me value as an entrepreneur is my network. So number one about marketing is I'm gonna keep it GCC based. I'm gonna get the main influencers, celebrities to wear it. And then the actual physical difference is I'm gonna like sort of fuse cultures. I'm gonna have Roman Arabic numerals just to make the design nicer. And it's just those small things that you don't find in other places that you could market based off of, if that makes sense.
Amazing. And when you are coming to new brands that work with you,
Yeah.
how do you see how do you understand what the best strategic way to work with them? What is the best strategy to create the brand?
It depends on a brand, to be honest. For example, we started working with a gaming lounge recently, and they were targeting gamers. And the thing with gamers is that they have their own consoles at home. So their marketing strategy wasn't too good. They were advertising the actual products they had, not the place. So I was like, listen, who you should be targeting is people who want to come as a group, you know, have fun as a group. And so they should give it to like a more emotional feel. Like you come to the place, you don't want to advertise the laptops. You want to advertise the vibe of the place, the emotions that are evoked. And that's mainly my twist to advertising, and it's emotion.
Amazing. And how does
Yeah.
it succeed? Is it made any change for this gaming lounge?
Yeah, it did really, really well. They told us, because it was me and my friend, we were both younger. It's called Ahlam Cinemagix. We approached them with a presentation because we didn't have previous work, we didn't have anything. We went to the office, I got the guy's number, I was like, can I speak to the manager? They thought there was a problem with the business. I was like, no, I just want to pitch myself. We told them, we're going to do the first month for free. And if you're happy with the results, then we'll go on. They were like, okay, we don't want the first month for free. If you can get like this certain percentage of occupancy, then we're going to pay you a specific amount. We were like, okay. And then we doubled that. And then they were like, okay, these kids are serious, so let's work with them.
Amazing. And on that note, how much do you feel a brand or a brand for a company can really make any beneficial, you know, for their marketing strategy, for their sales, for their occupancy, if it's an actual place? How much do you feel that a good brand can benefit to it?
Brand is everything. When I was younger, I was so confused because I would go to shops with my mom, and then it would be a plain black shirt, and then another plain black shirt with a small red logo, and it would be 10 times the price. Like, I'm not joking. Like, a normal black shirt would be like, what, 30, 40 dirhams? And then you would go and there's one for like 5,000, 6,000 dirhams. So that like surprised me so much. I'm like, why would people buy it? Mom was like, it's the brand, you know? Like, some people just like to have a good brand. So branding is everything. The way people see your brand is the only thing that obviously product and stuff are taken into place, but it's not nearly as close to your brand image and your customer loyalty.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. I feel that when you implement more and more a big brand, a strong brand to yourself, you need to invest less and less on marketing.
Exactly.
So it's that thing. And you know, in addition to everything we've just discussed about, you know, your school, your businesses, your boxing career, you're also a public speaker.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about it, like how you even started, you know, talking in front of a crowd.
I used to be the weird one in the class. I used to always sit in the corner. I would have no friends. So yeah. And then because I had so much free time, I didn't really go out much. It was just school training. I started doing magic, like card magic. This was a while ago. And then I did the school talent show. I won the school talent show. They took me to a big stage it was a bigger talent show. And we were having technical issues. So just to pass time, I was just talking on the microphone because there was a stage, there was audience, and I was just, you know, making conversation. And I used to think that I was such an awkward person. Like, I hated public speaking. And then I went up, we were having technical issues. I just started making conversation. My dad came to me afterwards and he was like, when did you start speaking like that? Like, you're in front of a big crowd at a young age and you're speaking perfectly fine. So that's when I was like, okay, maybe I should start doing it more. So I started, in class, I used to volunteer to be the presenter. I used to, you know, when you make group projects and someone has to go up and present, I would always be like, oh, let me do that. And I just enjoyed it a lot. Like I like the feeling of like speaking and having a lot of people listen to me. So as soon as I saw my point of value, which is my experience with branding and AI and all of that, I just started teaching people because people would come to me for advice. So I was like, why don't I do it?
Amazing. And where can we find you, lecturing or talking?
As of right now, I mainly do either workshops for businesses or universities, because I started this as to build my profile. What's it called? Sorry, we can cut that out.
I'll
Right?
write it down.
Okay.
Remember
was I
what you
gonna
want to
say?
say? Want me to start to ask you again?
Yeah.
Same question? All right.
Just give me what was the question?
About where we can you see you talking and lecturing and
Yeah. Okay.
making
Got it.
workshops.
Yeah. I got
I'll
it.
ask you again.
Mm.
So Assad, tell me where can we find you, talking in front of a crowd, making workshops?
So it depends. Sometimes they would bring me in for training or for public speaking at workshops for businesses. But where you would usually find me at is universities, because that's where I can get the most jobs. I started off for free. I told them, listen, like I just want to start public speaking. I want to help you guys out. So I went to my university. I was like, let me speak to your marketing students, communication design, branding. I gave a few lectures. They found, because obviously I'm younger, like a lot younger than the professors. So I was able to connect more to the students and they benefited a lot from that. So yeah, that's how I started.
So on that note, really what I really want to know, because maybe, somebody from your age, 17, 16, 15, listening to us right now, and he's getting inspired by everything you accomplished in such a young age. So do you have any advice for young people to really accomplish and do great things like you did and doing?
Yeah, I thought about this a lot. People will always come to me, they'll be like, give me advice, because I've started a lot of businesses, I've succeeded in a lot of businesses, and everyone says do something you're passionate about. You could do that, but some people are just passionate about money, and there's nothing wrong with that, So to start a business, it's really simple. You could either evaluate your assets. You see what you have. For example, for my boxing, what I had, my value was my boxing career and the people I knew. That's how it started. And if you don't have those assets, then build your value. Pick a field, whether that's watches, cars, real estate, and become an expert in that field. Learn everything inside out in that field, and then you can monetize it. Even if it's something as simple as being a barista or a hairstylist, if you become an expert in that field, it can go a long way.
But still, even if you pursue your dream and you're doing your dream, you don't have a brand watch brand, a branding agency, boxing company. So how do you manage your time around all those things together?
It's really, really tough, especially because I have, family, I have university, training, businesses. It's weird. Like on my way here, I was with my friend and I took my laptop in my car. I took my laptop in my car because I'm working. When I go out with my friends to hang out, I'm working. In school, I'm working. At work, I'm studying. So it's difficult, but I enjoy it. I take it's gonna sound a bit cliche, it's gonna sound a bit like corny, but I take life as a game. And it's that, like, how in a game you would go collect coins, you do these side missions. It's like in real life, So yeah, it's as simple as that.
Amazing. And you're now 17 doing all those amazing things.
Mm-hmm.
What will be in the future for you? What else? What more
Honestly,
you can accomplish?
Honestly, I don't know. I just get, like, for example, most of my businesses, I would get motivation at 3 a.m. I'd be like, oh, why don't I start a boxing promotion? And I'd actually do it. So right now, I've built my businesses. I'm trying to build myself as a brand. Like I have all of these businesses, but as Assad, I want to build myself, and that's why I started public speaking. The watch brand, I see going a very long way. And then Ahlam Cinemagix, the branding agency, is just going to keep going out. Because the reason I started this is because I never wanted a job. I never wanted to be an engineer, a doctor, any of that stuff. I wanted to do everything. I used to tell people, oh, I want to be Batman when I'm older. Like I want to do everything. So I'm doing a bit of everything.
Amazing. And, speaking about that, creating a business is one thing and it's very important, but maybe a bigger challenge from that is to scale your business, to make it big, bring in employees, bring in more investments. So how do you do that? How do you scale a business?
Yeah, that's exactly what I do. Like everyone there's so much advice for startups. You go on Google, you're like, how do I start a business? And you'll find millions of videos. But scaling a business is different. And again, that links straight back to your brand. If you can let people, it depends, honestly. Like scaling a business, let's go back to watches. Like G-Shock is very different to scaling a business like Rolex because they have different strategies. I usually stick to the luxury side of things. So brands like Gucci, Rolex, Louis Vuitton. And that's just through your network, being at events, like being at watch events, being at designer events, building your network and just building your brand. Like it just comes with time. As soon as you get your brand known and give it those connotations. For example, you think of a luxury brand, you think of luxury connotations. As soon as you give your brand those connotations and you keep it active, you keep content coming, then it's gonna grow whether you like it or not.
So you're saying keep your recognition, keep your content, and also, I feel that investment is a big part of it, to get the right investor in with you, to make sure that he's not only giving money, but also giving some of his connections and ways to actually scale this business. So how do you do that? How do you get the right investor?
Exactly. Just like I said, network and brand are the biggest things. Networking, finding people you trust, finding people in your field that you get along with. That's like, as of right now, like obviously I'm in university, but I'm doing that for my parents because I have out of parents. I'm doing it for my mother. But the actual value right now, your value comes from who you know, the people you know, the people you surround yourself with. So just surrounding yourself with good people, actually getting to know them, and then people will come along the way.
Yeah.
Like if you keep going to Rolex events, if you keep going to the shop, you're inevitably gonna get a Rolex. So it's like there's this saying that if you keep going to a Bugatti shop every day, you're eventually gonna get it.
Yeah, you need to then go to work a little
exactly.
bit. Or
of
invest in
course.
something, and then maybe definitely. And you mentioned a little bit about your education, and I want to discuss about that because you are a young individual and you are now in university, as you mentioned, just for your mother, like you said. But what do you actually feel about university? Do you think it's something that can benefit you, your entrepreneurial side?
So for university, it's a bit different for my thing, and to be completely honest, my businesses help me more in university than university helps me in my businesses. Because obviously I started at a really young age. I did media for my first year and then I switched to business and finance for my second year. And so I didn't know too much. But the real life experience I had is what's benefited me in university. So I already had experience with balance sheets. I already had experience with investments, interest, startups, all of that stuff. So my business helped me with my university. But I feel like once you get to a point where it's like an international business, it's a big enterprise, then you need that knowledge. Like that knowledge is something you need and it also goes with network. If you're at a good university, you're studying your field, you're going to meet good people in your field.
Yeah, definitely. But would you recommend to someone 17-year-old to go to university?
I mean, most 17-year-olds don't end up in university, you're still in school. But if you want to be an entrepreneur, it depends on you. It depends on what you want to do. Obviously, you have something to fall back on. But if you don't have a specific plan on what you want to do, then stick to university. But if you see your life going in a specific direction, then I'd say go take the risk, because right now it's easy to get by without a degree. Even to get jobs, it's easy to get by.
Yeah, and what do you even recommend to someone your age? I'll get back to that.
Yeah.
Wanting to do something good, not maybe open 5 companies like you, but maybe just one and for something that he really likes. What do you think his first step should be?
Same thing I just said. Evaluate your assets, see what you have, what you could monetize. And if you don't see a business coming out of that, then pick a field and become an expert. Again, just be really good at one thing and brand it.
I want to also mention one more thing. We haven't discussed actually never in any of our conversations. It's about the parents, your family.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about that because I feel that the reason that you are doing so well and successful at 17 years old is because you had a family that pushed you and gave you the right things to succeed.
Of course.
Do you agree with me?
100%. So especially when I started boxing, my dad was there. Usually parents would drop off their kids to training, but my dad was there like every session from when it started to when it ended. He would leave work and he'd just sit there watching me. He would give me advice after. He would speak to the coaches, speak to my training partners. So they were always very present. And my mom, she's built my character as a person, the way I approach things, the work I do, the way I interact. It's solely from my mom. Like she's built me as a person.
Amazing. So if there are any parents listen to us right now, they want their kids to be successful as you. What would be the tip you will give them?
I mean, I'm a child, I'm not a parent, but I would honestly just say...
From your perspective.
Just be involved. Like, I know kids want to act cool, they want to go out with their friends, they want to like stay away from their parents, but be as involved as possible. Like, just material things, like, let's say booking them a class, putting them into sport is good, but you have to be present. Like, you have to obviously be there.
Yeah, so what does it mean being there for you? What does it mean?
Being there, like the same way, for example, during my GCSEs, I had a tutor during my exams, but my mom was always there, like forcing me to be on it. And she wouldn't just tell me, oh, do it. Like if I was struggling with something, obviously she's graduated, she has her own thing. People forget. So she would restudy the whole topic just to come and teach it to me. Because I didn't like my tutors, you know, I didn't like someone telling me what to do. And then for my dad, he was always present during my box. Like he's never missed a training session. When I was younger, he never missed a fight. He was just always there, even though he was so busy with work.
Amazing. So they've been at your side and they're helping, and it's amazing. It's amazing to see that, because I feel they've done well.
Okay, so for the watch business, I'm not really a watch guy, but I got into it recently because of this one quote that I heard. It was on Instagram. It was like a cliche quote, but it was that a regular watch would tell you the time, but an expensive
No, it's
an expensive watch, huh?
What is the phrase? Tell it to me.
An expensive watch shows people the value of your time.
Okay.
Tells people the value of your time.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, so for the watch brand, I'm not really a watch guy, but I got into it recently because of this one like TikTok quote that I heard. It was very cliche, but it makes sense. And it's that a regular watch tells you the time, but an expensive watch tells people the value of your time.
Amazing.
And so I really wanted to represent that. And that's the first part to why I made it. And it's because I want to, obviously these brands have been out there for a while, but I want to break into the market because I feel like I could stand out. And then the second part is that watches are amazing for networks. You know, like you can tell like how far a person has gotten in life by their watch. Like especially for men, it's a very like
status symbol
exactly.
type of
It's
thing.
mainly for status. You know, you don't wear a watch. I mean, obviously you'd wear it to look good, but it's mainly for status.
Definitely. Then people can tell you stories for hundreds of hours about their watches, and
that it's usually passed down through generations. So for me, it means a lot.
Amazing. So that's definitely a very good reasons to create your own watch.
Yeah.
So, you know, Assad, we mentioned many things in this interview, and I want a little bit to go back to your boxing career. And also, you know, you being owner and creator of many businesses.
Yeah.
So how do you balance a boxing career, which can, you know, take many time from your day, practicing, working? Sometimes, you know, you get a punch and you need to be at the meeting the day afterwards. Yeah. How do you balance those two things?
Honestly, I think it's tough, but they do work really well together. So obviously work's stressful for me. I go back, I punch a few people. I relieve my stress.
And that's just in the office.
Yeah, of course.
Then you go to...
No, that's a training. But so what's it called? So yeah, and the second thing is especially because I'm 17, I have to be very persuasive. I have to be like stubborn at times. Especially when I pitch someone, they're like, oh, how old are you? I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna say, oh, I'm 17. And then they're going to be like, oh, like, we can't really work with you. So I have to be stubborn. I have to be persuasive. And sports in general, especially combat sports, they've helped build that characteristic in me. So I would just stay on it. And during harsh conversations, I'd have to be harsh. And then it just builds character. And I feel like for business, as of right now, your character is what gets you far.
Definitely. I feel that it's a thing to... that it teaches you a lot being in sports. I've been a tennis player like all my childhood, so I've learned so much out of it. So, Assad, it's been amazing hosting you. You are a talented young man, and I really hope that you continue inspiring many people on your journey and opening and creating many businesses. There is anything else you would like to share with the audience before we finish?
No, that's about it. I think we got through everything, and it was an amazing interview.
Amazing. So if anyone wants to contact with you, we'll leave your details down below, your links and everything in all social media platforms. And again, Assad Toucan, thank you so much for being a part of our podcast.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Welcome to Business Time, the main stage for your business.